let's get started. We'll come to the back of our mat. We'll take a deep breath, reaching up. Exhaling down into our forward fold. Inhaling to our half lift. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling all the way up. And let's reach back, opening up our heart, our chest. Start to feel it in our lower back. Our quads are strong. Let's come back up. And separating our feet so they're about mat width apart. We'll take a deep breath now. And exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. So some gentle squats here, feeling the stretch as we come down. And the power as we inhale up. Okay, we'll do one more up. Come down, walking our hands forward, coming into our high plank. So this is our first plank, but it's just a tease. Just one moment here, and then let's drop our knees coming onto all fours, tabletop. So we're going to stretch out our back now. As we inhale, we'll look up and pull our tailbone up. And then exhale, coming down into cat pose. So curling our back, inhaling up, arching our back. Exhaling down, curling it. Let's do a few of these, moving with our own breath. Noticing how it feels in our back. So we stretch out. We're also warming up our abs. Let's do one more breath cycle. Okay, so staying here on all fours. We'll now come into our spinal balance. So we'll raise our right arm and our left leg, opposite arm to leg. Switch, left arm, right leg. Okay, so we want to be looking down at the mat so we have a nice neutral neck. Switch. Otherwise we can strain our neck. We don't want to do that. Switch. So as we're doing this, noticing how this feels in our back. Switch. Our hamstrings, quads, shoulders. Switch. How's our balance? This is our first balance pose of the sequence. Switch. One more with our right arm. And last one with our left arm. Okay, bringing the arms down. Let's just quickly open it up, our forearm and our wrist, by turning our right hand toward our right knee. And now let's go the other way. I mean with the other hand. Okay, coming back. We're gonna open up our hips now, raising our right leg with our knee bent. And we'll just do some wide circles there, maybe 4 or 5 circles. Going clockwise. And then same leg, opposite direction. So noticing, how does this feel in my hips? I'm holding my abs strong, I'm breathing. Okay, let's lower that leg, and now we'll take our left leg up. Wide circles. And opposite direction. Okay, let's bring that leg down. We'll shift our hips over to the right, looking over our left arm. And let's go the other side. So we might feel a really nice stretch in our lower back here. Our glute muscles, hamstrings, that whole area. Just noticing how that feels. Okay, so we're gonna come into our half flows, and we'll do 3 of those. So walking our hands forward. We might have to shift our knees back a little bit. So we want our hands still under our shoulders here. Okay, but now our knees are back, so it's sort of like push-up, top of a push-up, but our knees are on the floor. And then we're going to bend our elbows, coming down into a low plank, still on our knees, feeling the power in our shoulders, and then all the way down. Let's bring our chest up into cobra, feeling it in our back. And then pushing up and back into child's pose, sitting back on our feet, extending our arms forward. Okay, let's do that again, coming on up and forward on our knees. Low plank, all the way down, chest up, and then pushing up and back into child's pose. And one more time, coming on up, shifting forward, low plank, all the way down, chest up, and then up and back into child's pose. So let's add a slight twist here. We're threading our left arm under our right. So twisting our spine a bit, looking under our extended arm, our right arm. A couple breaths. Okay, back to the center, and now going to the left. And coming back to center. So shifting our body up to our high plank. Remember, top of a push-up. My back is flat. If at any point my hips are coming towards the ground or upward towards the sky, might want to drop my knees, right? I want to keep that solid form so we don't put too much strain on our back. So here, without moving hands or feet, we'll come into downward dog. And let's walk our dog, bending one knee at a time. Noticing the stretch down by our heels and our Achilles, our calves. Let's hold our dog still here. And then we'll bend both knees so our shins are parallel with the floor. So feeling the power now in our quads and in our shoulders or upper back. And then let's walk our feet forward, coming into a forward fold. So let's pause here for a couple breaths, noticing the blood coming to our head. If we want to, we can bring our hands to our elbows and gently sway our upper body and notice how this feels in our lower back, in our hamstrings. Okay, so we can stay here with our hands on our elbows, or we can release our hands. Or if our hamstrings or lower back are feeling tight, we're always free to bring our hands to our legs for further support. So let's gently shake our head yes. Yes, I am amazing. And then gently shake it no, releasing any tension here in our neck. Okay, let's hold it still. And then coming up for our half lift. So we can either reach for the floor as we extend, straighten out our spine or back, or we can place our hands on our legs by our shins or on our thighs, whatever feels right for our body today. And then coming back down into forward fold. And now as we inhale, we'll slowly come all the way up with a reverse swan dive. So nice flat back, pressing through our feet, through our legs, reaching up. Exhaling down into forward fold. Let's step back into high plank. Shifting forward, low plank, keeping our elbows in by our ribs. Coming onto the tops of our feet, we'll inhale into upward dog. And then exhaling, flipping our feet back into downward dog. Okay, so let's put that all together again. So bending both knees. walking our feet forward into forward fold. So inhaling to our half lift, exhaling forward fold, inhaling all the way up, exhaling forward fold, inhaling stepping back into high plank, shifting forward, exhaling low plank, onto the tops of our feet, inhaling upward dog, and exhaling downward dog. So that was a flow, a sun salutation. Hopefully we're feeling warm now. We're going to take our right leg up into downward dog split, really reaching upward. And then we'll bend that knee, opening up our hip by bringing our right foot towards the left, almost like we're reaching for our left elbow. We're looking under our right arm. Okay, extending that leg back up. And we'll bring it forward into warrior one. So our heels are in a line, both feet are on the floor. Hips facing forward. And we can bring up our arms, our victory arms. We're all winners, we showed up today. Let's reach up and back, extending out our left hip, working our lower back. Let's come back up. And now into warrior two. So now my hips are shifting towards the side. Still pressing my feet into the mat. Connecting with the ground, feeling that power. Relaxing my shoulders. Let's reach down now with our right hand. So we can either place it on our thigh, on our shin. Make our way closer to the ground. Seeing what feels good for us today. Where do we feel that stretch? We never want to force anything. And we don't necessarily want to settle into what's easy either. So we play around with it. What does our body need today? And then using those quads and abs coming back up into warrior two. And then reaching out with our left arm. Our right leg is still bent. We're in reverse warrior. Couple breaths here. And then windmilling our arms down, stepping back into high plank. If we like to, shifting forward, low plank, high plank. Yes, a push up, and into downward dog. Let's take our left leg up now. Really extending. Bend the left knee and look under our left arm. Opening up our hip. Extending that leg up. And bringing it forward into warrior one. Again, hips facing forward. Feet are both pressed into the mat, raising our victory arms, and now let's stretch it back. And back up. Warrior two. So now opening up, hips are facing the side. Relaxing the shoulders, strong legs. And then extending our left hand down to our left thigh, shin, ankle, floor. Again, whatever feels good today. Breathing. And then pressing through our quads, using our abs, coming back up to warrior two. Let's drop our right arm, reverse warrior. Left leg is bent, feeling the stretch. Back to warrior two. Windmilling down, let's step back into high plank. Shifting forward, low plank, high plank, and downward dog. Let's take our right leg up and bring it forward into a high lunge or crescent warrior. So this time my back heel is off the floor, and this requires some balance, right? So we're stretching out the left hip, reaching up with our victory arms. We can stay here if we want, or we can bring our palms together and twist over our front leg, opening arms if we wish. So deep breaths every time we twist in a spinal twist like this. We really want to be mindful of our breathing, because we might not even notice it, but when we're twisty, we're probably not breathing as deeply. Just like when we're stressed out in life, and that's when we most need it. Okay, let's reach down now, stepping back into high plank. So at this point, we can either do side plank, which is we're stacking our legs and raising our right arm. So we're turning to the right. Or we can drop our left knee for modified side plank. So just see what your body needs or is up for today. Okay, let's lower that right arm into high plank. Shifting forward, low plank, high plank, and downward dog. Let's take our left leg up. And now bringing that forward into that high lunge. Now my right heel is off the floor, raising our arms. Hopefully you're feeling a nice warm up by now. Bring our palms together and then twisting to the left if we want. We can also use blocks here for further balance support. I don't have any with me right now to show you, so let's just figure it out. Deep breaths. All right, let's reach down now, stepping back into high plank, and then again, either modified or full side plank to the left. Extending up our left arm, right knees on the mat, or the legs are stacked. And then lowering our left arm. Let's come into high plank, shifting forward, low plank, high plank, and downward dog. So let's press our sit bones up to the ceiling or the sky if you're lucky enough to be outside. Extending our spine, stretching out the backs of our legs, pressing our hands, knuckles, everything into the mat. Every time we exhale, bring our belly button back to our spine. All right, we'll shift forward now into high plank, and then coming onto our forearms for our first forearm plank. Yes, the first, perhaps of many. We'll see where this goes. All right. So noticing the power right now in our abs. And again, with always, especially with these planks, we want to make sure we're paying attention to form. So if this does not feel good on our back, let's drop our knees. All right, let's place our right hand down, then our left. So we're coming up, working our triceps, and then back down onto our forearms. Okay, let's drop our left hand and then our right. Shifting forward, low plank, and then all the way down. Good job. Let's take a couple breaths here. Okay, we'll extend our arms out in front of us now. So we're going to bring our arms and our chest up into Superman, Superwoman. If we'd like to, we can bring up our legs too. See if we can turn our quads outward. So really strengthening our back, glutes, quads and hamstrings. Breathing, neutral neck. We don't want to be looking up. And release. Okay, so placing our hands over by our shoulders. Let's bring up our chest, cobra. And we're not using our hands if we wiggle them. We're hopefully still up there. That means we're just using our back. Breathing. All right, let's push up now into seal. And then coming back into child's pose, stretching out our back. So if we want to, we can rock our hips, do some hip circles. See how this feels on our back, relaxing it. All right, coming back onto all fours. We're now going to come into our modified side plank, which we might have done earlier, but if not, basically, I'm going to turn here. I'm extending my right leg and my right arm. If I can stay here if I want, or I can raise my leg. Okay, so I'm going to turn so I can be on my mat. I'm going to hold that pose there, noticing how it feels in our hip flexors or glutes or back. It's a great core strengthener. Breathing. Remember, this too shall pass. All right, let's bring it down. And now let's take it to the other side. So extending our left leg, our left arm, raising our left leg if we want. And let's bring it down. Let's stretch that out for a moment. So we'll shift our hips over to the right, looking over our left arm. And then let's go the other way. All right, coming back to the center. We're going to come onto our forearms and back into plank. Okay, so let's work our abs a little. We're going to bring our right hip down toward the mat, bring it back up. Left, back up. Right, up, left, right, left. 2 more on each side. And as we do this, we're breathing. Always breathing. Last one on each side. Good job. Okay, let's walk our feet forward now. So we're in dolphin pose. So that's like downward dog, but on our forearms. And if we want to, we can pigeon toe our feet. So turning our heels outward, seeing how this feels on our hip flexors or IT bands. Okay, let's come onto our knees now. All right, let's bring our body up. Whew, I'm warm. All right, so we can separate our knees now. So we're going to come into camel. So we might want to modify it based on how our lower back is. I know a lot of us have back issues. So one way to do it, I'm going to turn so you can see me better. We can keep our feet flat like that on the tops of our feet, or we can curl our toes under. So that's the first modification. The second is we can reach back with one hand and extend the other one overhead. So in other words, doing one at a time. Or we can reach both of our hands back and release our head and neck. So just play around with that, see what feels best for you. Getting a bit of a workout there on our back. We're going to come forward now and come into child's pose to stretch out our back. Okay, moving our way back onto forearm plank. Okay. Remember, this too shall pass. All right, so we're breathing, and now we're placing our right hand down, then our left, coming up into high plank. Coming onto our forearms again, because we got to do it on the other side, even things out. So left hand, then right hand, and into downward dog. Let's take our right leg up and bring it forward into warrior one. So again, heels in a line, hips facing forward, arms up. Okay, so we're going to do a little balancing here. So we're reaching over our front leg and bringing our back leg up. Okay, so our fingertips can be grazing the mat. We could also use a block here for extra support, or fingers just hovering over the floor. Noticing how this feels in our back, our standing leg, our glutes. Are we breathing? And reaching down, stepping back into high plank, shifting forward, low plank, high plank, downward dog. So let's take our left leg up. And now bring that forward into warrior one. And then same thing here, we're gonna come over our left leg, right leg comes up, balancing, breathing. If we sway with the wind, let's just try it again. And reaching down, we'll step back in a high plank, shifting forward, low plank, high plank, downward dog. Let's take our right and bring it forward into a high lunge. Crescent warrior. So this time, let's add a little power. We're going to press up and back down. Again, down. Okay, so we're going to do 7 more of these, 10 total. 5 more. Noticing the stretch as we come down, the power as we come up. 3 more. Breathing. Okay, this time let's reach down. We're going to swing our front leg back into downward dog split. And then we're going to bring it forward so our knees between our hands. Push it back and up. Bring it forward, back. 3 more of these. Last one. And into downward dog. All right, take our left leg up. We're almost done with this power section. Let's bring it forward into a high lunge. You guys are doing great. I know you are, because you're here, it's showing up. Let's press up and back down. 9 more of these. You know the drill. Three more. This is our last up. Let's reach down. We're going to swing the front leg back into downward dog split. And now let's bring that knee forward into plank and back. Again. Back. 3. Back. 4. And last one. And bring it down. Good job. Okay, let's bend both knees. And come forward into forward fold. And let's pause here for a couple breaths. If we want to, we can grab our big toes and pull our upper body toward our thighs, feeling that stretch. And releasing that. So slowly, that reverse swan dive all the way up, pressing through our feet and our legs, which takes the pressure off our back. Let's take a deep breath. And then exhaling, our right arm under our left. Okay, bring our elbows up so we feel that awesome stretch in our upper back right now. And then we can bend our knees. So we can pause here and just notice and enjoy, hopefully, the stretch in our calves, shins, by our Achilles. We can hang out here, or we can add a balance pose, eagle pose, focusing on something that's not moving and wrapping our right leg around our left. And release. And shake it out if we want. It's great strength here for our ankles. All right, let's take a deep breath, reaching up. And then exhaling, our left arm under our right, elbows up. And then bending our knees. Again, we can hang out here. Enjoy the stretch in our upper back, shoulders. And remember, our bodies are all different, so wrapping our forearms might not be a thing for us, and that's fine. If we want to, we can wrap our left legs left around our right. Breathing. And release. Take a deep breath. And exhaling down into forward fold. So let's separate our feet so they're about mat width apart or so. We're going to come into a squat here. And the thing with a squat is we want to see if we can keep our heels on the floor. So if that means separating our feet more, that's fine. So we're basically doing a really awesome hip opener right now. Okay, so now we're going to slowly come up about halfway and pause here just to pay attention to, wow, I have a halo. I love that. All right, let's come all the way up. So we are pressing through our legs as we come up, just feeling that power in our quads, our glutes, our hips, everything. Okay. I know those of you who have come to my in-person classes are like, of course she has a halo. I know, you're rolling your eyes right now. It's all right. Okay. All right, so this is really an amazing strengthener, and the fact that we're doing it nice and slowly, not doing those really fast air squats that some workouts demand. This is almost harder. Okay, let's pause at the bottom here. Come up a little bit. A little more. And let's come all the way up. Deep breath. And exhaling down into forward fold. Let's heel toe our feet back together. And then stepping back into high plank. And from here into downward dog. Let's take our right leg up. Bring it forward into a low lunge. So I'm placing my foot in between my hands. With a lunge, we always want to make sure our knee is not going beyond our toes. We don't want to be doing this thing. Okay, so if we want to, we can twist here, leaving our left hand, which is to the inside of my right foot, on the mat and twisting into the front leg. Okay, so we're wringing out the toxins right now. Let's deep breaths. Noticing the stretch maybe in our IT band, which runs along here. Okay, lowering that hand. Let's come onto our back knee, bring our body up, palms together. Pointing our index fingers up, and let's stretch back. Coming back up, we're going to stretch out our right hamstring by extending our front leg and bringing our heart toward it. Couple breaths here. Never ever forcing stretches because that is just counterproductive. So we can notice, wow, hello hamstring. And then maybe next time we breathe out, softening a little bit deeper into it. Or not. It's our choice. All right, let's come flat onto that foot, maybe moving it to the outside of the mat a little bit, placing our hands to the inside of the foot so we can hang out here. This is a great groin stretch. Or come onto our forearms if that's available to us today. Or raising our back leg by curling our left toes under, raising our to a more active stretch. We can toggle between the two, knee on the floor, knee off the floor, to see what feels good to you today. Where am I stretching? Where do I feel this? I almost feel like the rest of the class is simply to prepare us for this portion that we're doing right now. Hips, glutes, lower back, groin area. All right, let's come on up. And now shift our right leg into pigeon pose. So we're folding it in front of us. Our balance is centered. And then if we'd like to, we can bend, fold forward if that feels good. Noticing all the sensations in the area I just said, our hips, glutes, IT band, hamstring, hip adductors, abductors, lower back, groin area. Let's notice what's going on in all of that. All right, fabulous. Let's come on up. Shift that leg back so we're in high plank, downward dog. And now let's take it to the other side. Left leg up, bringing it forward, coming into a low lunge. My left foot is between my hands. And now I'm twisting to the left. And by the way, we can always drop our back knee for these. Deep breaths. Every exhale, releasing what I don't need. And lowering that arm. Let's come onto our back knee, bring our body up, palms together, pointing our index fingers up and stretching back. And coming on up. Let's extend our front leg. All right, so bringing our heart towards our leg, stretching out our hamstring. And I don't know about you, but my left hamstring is the one that, shall we say, wants to tell me that it exists. Trying to put a positive spin on it. It challenges me. So again, not forcing anything. And as I remind the people in my classes, especially people I know who are really high performance athletes and people like that, usually if you're a really fast runner, you play soccer or something like that, your hamstrings just are really tight. It's part of that fast twitch muscle performance stuff. All right, so let's come on to that. And by the way, I'm not saying I'm fast by any means. Let's come on to our front foot, moving our foot out towards the mat, bringing our hands to the inside of it, So we can hang out here, come onto our forearms. And by the way, we can use a block at that point too. So just noticing how does this feel in that whole groin area. I can definitely feel my left hamstring and glute. Okay, so we can leave our back knee on the mat or raise it or toggle between raising it, lowering it. And let's bring it back down. Okay, so we're going to bring our body up so we can shift our left leg into pigeon. And then folding forward. Deep breaths. We've had an amazing workout. You guys, I know, are working really hard. Get your messages. All 3 of you who subscribe. But this is a great workout, but it's more than anything, I think, a chance to tune into our body, to listen to it, reconnect with it. We only get one body, right, in our life. And so often we don't even realize how mean we are to it. So let's just take this opportunity, listen to it and cherish it and honor it. Doesn't matter how it showed up today, it showed up. All right, let's come on up. Let's bring our back leg around. So we're going to place our right foot on our left thigh. Now at this point, we can extend our bottom leg. I like to keep mine folded in, but try both ways. I like to bring my heart toward the ground too, bending from my hip. Trying to keep my back straight. I try to avoid rounding out, right? Because we tend to do that all day long, don't even realize it. So this is a chance to say, oh, let me straighten out my spine. Opening up here too, my heart, my lungs. All right, let's come on up. And now switch legs. And you probably realize this is really a great hip opener. We might feel it on our glutes, hip flexors, hamstrings, that whole area, lower back. Okay, let's come back up. And we're placing our feet flat on the floor. Reach our arms forward, coming back. We're going to do one more ab thing. So we're bringing our feet up, pausing. Notice, wow, hello abs. Deep breaths. And then coming back up, let's bring the soles of our feet together into butterfly. We can always use our elbows to help our knees get further to the ground. I said help our knees, not force them. All right, let's come on up. I'm gonna turn now so you can see. So I'm placing my feet flat on the floor. Reaching forward like I did earlier, this time slowly making my way to the floor. So we're gonna push our hips up into bridge pose. Okay, so we want to pretend we have a ball between our knees that we don't want to drop. So this is our final strength move, feeling the power in our quads, hamstrings, glutes, back, breathing. And release. Good job. Okay, so I'm actually going to switch this way. So still on our back. We're now going to bring our right foot onto our left thigh and gently pull our knees in toward us. If we want to, we can roll onto our left elbow. So the elbow that's by the raised foot. Well, they're both raised, but you know what I mean. The foot that's closer to my face. So as we do this, we might notice a bit more of a stretch in our glute, lower back area. And who doesn't want that? Back to the center. Let's switch legs. And then if we want to, rolling onto the other elbow, in this case my right elbow, because my left foot is closer to my base. Okay, back to the center, bring my feet down to the floor. I'm going to bring the soles of my feet together. So it's kind of like butterfly on my back. So feeling the stretching in our hips, maybe noticing our heart rate slowing down. This is a really good pose if you get restless leg syndrome. Do this at night in bed. It helps your central nervous system. Okay, so now we're going to extend our legs out. And I am sweating, but if you need something to cover yourself now, this is the most important part of class, is the resting, the final resting pose. So we can put a blanket on if we need. So we're going to take a deep breath, reaching arms up towards the ceiling or the clouds, extending them over our head. Let's take a few deep breaths here, feeling the full stretch. And then as we inhale again, we'll raise our arms upward to the sky and then gently floating them down by our sides. We can close our eyes. Noticing our heart rate slowing down, relaxing our forehead, the bones and muscles in our face that express emotion, relaxing them. Noticing our breathing, how it happens effortlessly without our controlling it, without our even thinking about it. The breath that starts our life, that keeps us alive. We take it for granted until it's hard for us, laborious. So let's just take a moment to notice it now, paying attention. Whenever a thought comes into our mind, which it will, we can notice it, and if we'd like to, visualizing a beach with the waves coming to the shore, we can imagine throwing the thought in the ocean, letting it go with the next wave, and then bringing our attention back to our breath. Take a deep breath now. And exhale. And then when we're ready, slowly, still with our eyes closed, still focused inward, focused on our body, how it feels, focused on our breath. Sitting up tall. We're in our easy pose with our legs crossed. Our hands are on our knees, relaxing our forehead. Let's take a deep breath and exhale. Another deep breath in through our nose and exhaling through our mouth with a sigh. Let's do that one more time. Let's bring our palms together at our heart and take a moment to thank our body for showing up today, for waking up and bringing us through whatever it had to get to our mat today. Thanking our body for its wisdom, its patience, its miraculous power of healing when we give it what it needs. Thanking our body for its resilience and its beauty inside and out. And then if we'd like to, we can bring into our mind, into our heart, somebody that we know or know of, people or even a pet, an animal, any being or beings who perhaps are suffering today, perhaps aren't as lucky as we are or as blessed, perhaps are not as aware of their blessings, of their power. Let's bring them into our mind right now, into our heart. May they be safe. May they be healthy. May they be happy. And may they find the peace that comes through acceptance, especially of oneself, forgiveness, especially of oneself, and surrender into a power greater than oneself. Let's take a deep breath. And as we exhale forward, and if we want to, we can say namaste. And that is it for now.